Hello everyone, if you're new to my channel, consider liking and subscribing. It will make me feel wonderful if you do that. Thanks. By the way, I also have another Naruto and Luffy fanfiction channel. If you are interested, link is in the description.
Never Again by Katakurii. Luffy loses his nakama and gets another chance. He gets sent back in time and gives his powers and knowledge to his younger self. Will he be able to save his nakama? I don't own anything. Adios.
Chapter 1. Second beginning flashback. Luffy had beaten Kaido and freed Wano Kuni. After that, he found the fourth road poneglyph. He and his nakama found out where Raftel was and sailed there. But they weren't alone. Fleet Admiral Sakazuki gathered all of the marines and confronted them right in front of Raftel. He had 1,000 warships and 1 million men. Luffy and his nakama were heavily outnumbered. Despite this, they put up a good fight. Luffy knew there were going to be casualties on his side, but he took the risk. All of his nakama died. The first to die was Nami. She was stabbed by a sword, right through the heart. This also broke Luffy's heart, but he fought on. The second to die was Chopper. He was hit by too many rockets. Not even his monster form could handle it. Luffy almost died from sadness, but kept fighting. After that it was Brook's turn. His body was obliterated by magma and then his soul was trapped in Kairoseki and thrown into the sea. Usopp died next, by a magma punch in his face. The front half of his head was completely devoured by Akainu's magma. Luffy's spirit almost broke, but his other friends encouraged him to fight on. Robin was the fifth victim of the Marines. She was attacked from behind and brutally beaten to death by multiple spiked Kairoseki maces. Luffy died on the inside, but continued for the others. Frankie fell to them only minutes later. He was impaled by Electric spears. These spears made his weapons explode and his system crashed. The little natural life he had vanished moments later. Jinbei was the seventh to die. He sook-bed to his gunshot injuries. Luffy mourned greatly of his death, saying it's unfair that he has only been in his crew for a short time, just to die. Now only Luffy and his two best men were left. Sanji died first. He protected Luffy and Zoro too often, taking too many gunshots and sword slashes for himself. Before dying, he told Luffy he truly believed he could win. His final words, to Zoro, were, "Zoro, you were the best friend I've ever had. Despite our bickering and arguing, I knew you were my best friend. I said so many things I regret. Please, forgive me." After Sanji's final speech, Zoro let out a scream of rage, killing 5,000 of the 8,000 Marines left all by himself. He also destroyed 70 of the last 100 warships alone. Just when he had no cover for a second due to fighting Kizaru, he was shot by a sniper, through his neck. Both of his major veins were cut by the bullet. A huge fountain of blood turned everything around him red. Zoro's last words were, "I'm sorry Captain, I promised to never lose again, but, Arg, I wasn't strong enough, forgive me." This was the last straw. Luffy unleashed a strong blast of King's Haki, powerful enough to kill 2,800 of the last living Marines. He then activated Gear 5 and killed another 150 with one blow. Out of blind hatred, he destroyed the last 30 warships and brutally killed almost every other Marine. The most brutal kill, however, was that of Akainu. Luffy ripped him in two with his bare hands. Despite all this hatred, he still kept his compassion for his loved ones, and only spared two, his grandfather Monkey D. Garp and his old friend Kobe. "Luffy," Garp hesitated, I'm sorry for being a Marine, I'm sorry for working for the world government, I'm sorry for sitting in the same boat with those who killed your friends. I'm sorry for not taking action, will you ever forgive me?" "Luffy-san," Kobe whispered. "It's okay. I am the one whose fault it is. I couldn't protect my nakama. It's not your fault." Luffy quietly said. He wasn't even crying anymore, just sitting. "Luffy-san," Kobe began, "I ate the time fruit. If you want, I can send you back in time. You will be stronger and have your memories, but your scar will remain." Tears started to build up again in Luffy's eyes, but this time they were teary of joy. "Thanks," he exclaimed. "Now I can go back in time and save my nakama." "So, when in your life do you want me to send you?" Kobe asked. "When I was in Makino's bar as a 7-year-old. Luffy started to smile again. "Okay, will do," Kobe said. "Good luck Luffy, this time I'm rooting for you," Garp said, with a little joy in his voice. "Thanks, both of you," Luffy shouted and disappeared. Meanwhile, a 7-year-old Luffy sat in Makino's bar, talking to the pirate Shanks. To his surprise, time stopped and a young man appeared in front of him. Young Luffy was scared. The older Luffy noticed this and began to talk. "No need to be afraid," he calmly spoke. "I'm not here to harm you." Who are you? Where am I? Why can't everyone move?" young Luffy asked. "A friend of mine sent me here. He ate the time fruit. He sent me here so that I can save my nakama," older Luffy answered. "To save your nakama?" Young Luffy was curious. "Our nakama?" older Luffy corrected. "I am you, but from the future." That's so cool, young Luffy exclaimed. Did I become Pirate King? Almost. Luffy answered. But on our way, we got attacked and my nakama died. Older Luffy was crying again. Young Luffy saw that and tried to comfort him. Don't cry, how can't I? Older Luffy screamed. He looked into the wide-opened eyes of his younger self and slowly stopped crying. You, older Luffy began, you can become Pirate King. See, can I? Yes. If I touch you, I can give you all of my strength, my skills, my memories, but also my scar. After that, I'll disappear. Let's do this, young Luffy exclaimed. The older Luffy touched his younger version's hand. Younger Luffy screamed in pain as he gained new muscles and a scar, which were too much for his small, weak body, and new information, which was too much for his sensible little brain. At the same time, older Luffy became more and more transparent. Despite that, he gave his younger self the biggest smile he'd ever seen. He, the younger Luffy, understood everything and smiled back. Before completely vanishing, older Luffy had one more thing to say to his future self. Remember, always protect your nakama, they'll need you. Older Luffy disappeared and younger Luffy was finally aware of everything. Thank you for another chance, Kobe. I'll make sure you'll become a good marine, he thought. Yosh, let's do this. Chapter 2, Familiar Fruits and Faces. Despite realizing everything his former self did, Luffy was still shocked on the inside. All this still felt a little weird to him, so unlike normally, he sat still. Shanks noticed Luffy didn't talk anymore. To his surprise, Luffy ignored everything, until Higuma came. Luffy remembered he was the one whose fault it was that Shanks lost one of his arms. Technically, it also was his fault, at least partly, for eating a devil fruit, thus not being able to swim. But now, after getting a second chance, Luffy wanted to protect Shanks' arm at all costs. Oi, bartender, Higuma called, moving towards Makino. Do you have some sake? No, not at the moment, but tomorrow you can have as much as you. Listen, Higuma interrupted. I want sake right here and right now, not tomorrow or anything. I'm sure you don't want me doing some damage to this place, he ruthlessly said with a smirk. Now Shanks intervened. Hold on, you can't just threaten to damage the bar. Why don't we solve this peacefully? Higuma took Shanks' glass of sake and emptied it over him. Wait, is that sake? Makino became more and more nervous. I thought you said you didn't have sake, Higuma yelled. Well, they came here before and got hold of the last sake I had, she tried to explain. Bad luck. Men, destroy this place, Shanks warned him. Hey, don't do that. His voice was calm, yet serious and threatening. Higuma then got angry. Do you know who I am? I am Higuma the Bandit. There's a bounty of 8 million berry on my head. You see, pirates can only act cool, as mountain bandits can easily kill cowards like you. Coward? Shanks is no coward. Apologize, Luffy shouted. Now who's this little brat, huh? Higuma approached Luffy. Luffy just gave him a death glare. Haha, if I was you, I'd apologize, Higuma threatened him. But Luffy's position was clear. Apologize to you? I'd rather apologize to a cockroach, but thinking about it, you are one. Everyone in the bar dropped their jaw. Some of Shanks' crew started laughing. Do you want to die? I'm gonna kill you, Higuma yelled, ready to pull out his sword. Shanks wanted to react, but Luffy already anticipated. He let out a strong wave of King's Haki, making Higuma's men fall on the floor unconscious, and the leader himself shudder heavily on his knees, before getting unconscious too. The jaws reached the floor. After 10 seconds of absolute silence, Shanks was the first to react. Luffy, that was King's Haki. To top that off, it was a controlled blast. How did you do that? The others began nodding. I don't know if you'll believe me, but, Luffy stammered. I'm pretty sure I won't believe you that fast, but tell us. Ben, Shanks' vice captain, spoke. Okay. The boy began. Not long ago, time stopped around me. Then I was approached by an older me. He said that he was sent here from the future. He told me his nakama died, so his friend who ate the time fruit gave him a second chance by sending him to me. After some more explanations, he merged with me. I gained his strength, his skills, his memories, and even some of his body traits, like this scar. Luffy took his shirt off. The scar on his chest was a shock to everyone, even Shanks, who is a Yonko. Who did this to you? Asked Makino, seriously concerned about the child. Admiral Akainu. Luffy snarled. What? Everyone including Shanks exclaimed. Do you believe me now? Everyone in the bar nodded. This was fortunate for Luffy, as he didn't need to explain more things. Then he remembered his devil fruit. He accidentally ate it when he was young in this bar. Shanks, Luffy asked, can I eat that devil fruit? You mean the Gomu Gomu no am I? Why? That was my devil fruit, I ate it back then. But if you eat it, you'll never be able to swim again, Shanks objected. I'm aware of it and willing to pay the price for saving your arm, Luffy said. My arm? What does that have to do with this? The redhead questioned. When the other me, was young, you saved me from a sea monster and lost your left arm, the boy answered. Oh really? Ha ha ha. Guess I'm lucky then, the Yonko laughed. But guys, Luffy spoke, don't tell anyone about our conversation and everything that happened. I really don't want to draw attention on myself. Luffy, your secret will stay safe, trust me. Now everyone, let's drink on this kid's second chance and my sound arm. The rest of the day went on peacefully. Luffy and the red hair pirates shared a lot of laughs, partied, drank. Because Luffy was a kid again, he only drank juice. Next morning, red-haired Shanks entrusted his beloved straw hat to Luffy. You'll protect it, will y'all? Yes, I'll do everything to protect it. You can count on me, Luffy vigorously, yet happily declared. After Shanks and his crew left, everything went like before. Luffy would meet the Dayton family and eventually become brothers with Ace and Sabo. He also remembered Sabo's death and saved him using his speed. But of course, he wouldn't let him or others see his powers. Whenever Ace and Sabo were around, he acted like he was their weak little brother. But when he was alone, he would train his haki in the woods. That's how he saved Sabo in the first place. When he was alone in the jungle, he could feel Sabo's presence in the far due to observation haki. He then remembered that it was the day Sabo would die, after getting shot at by Saint Jalmic. In not even a blink of an eye, he got to the boat and knocked Sabo unconscious so that the blonde couldn't see his powers and the person saving him. A few hours later, Sabo would wake up at a beach far away from his home and near the Dayton family's hideout. After seeing his brother is alive, Ace promised to never leave Sabo alone anymore and vowed to protect him at all costs. Years later, when Ace and Sabo were 17, they parted as co-captains. They asked Luffy to join them, but he refused, saying that he will set up his own pirate crew. After 3 years, Luffy was ready to set sail. During that time, he mastered CP9's Rokushiki including the Rokuogen. Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, Jinbei. I'm coming. Chapter 3. Little Kobe and Marimo. When Luffy set sail, everyone from his village and even the mountain bandits from the Dayton family came to the shore to bid farewell. Bye-bye Luffy. Look after yourself and good luck. Makino cheered, waving her hands. Luffy, Sob, stay out of danger Sob. You hear me? Sob, Dayton called, crying about her adoptive child leaving. The rest of the Dayton family did like their boss. Why are you cheering to a pirate? Mayor Wood Slap yelled, despite caring for the former inhabitant of his village. What if Garp becomes aware of this? The village was now far behind the young pirate's boat. He couldn't hear the voices anymore. Hey, let's continue, he thought. About half an hour later, a giant storm came up, with big whirls. Oh, this is where I meet Kobe. Might as well sleep now, he thought. Wait, I didn't get in the barrel yet, so he climbed into the wood barrel and took a nap. It won't be long Kobe, and I will rescue you from that fat whale. Luffy woke up. There wasn't much room in the barrel, so he punched it open. Doing so, he knocked out 2 of the Alvida pirates. Ah, what a beautiful sleep, he let out. By his side, there was a frightened little Kobe. Who are you? He stammered, fearfully shaking. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates, the Straw Hat proudly declared. King of the pirates? No way, impossible. You can't become king of the pie bunk, asterisk? Ow, why did you hit me? Because you said I couldn't become king of the pirates, Luffy spoke. Yeah, sorry, Kobe muttered, slightly embarrassed. So, why exactly are you here and what's your name? Luffy asked, already knowing the answer. My name is Kobe. I was kidnapped by Alvida and her crew some time ago. That's why I'm here. I'm sure you hate this life. Luffy said, yes, I hate this life. One day, I'll become a great marine, and when this day comes, I'll arrest Alvida, the cabin boy declared. Who are you going to arrest? A fat woman called from the shadows. Alvida, Kobe screamed, he was really scared. Kobe, who is that ugly fat whale? Luffy asked, mocking Alvida. Kobe, Alvida and her subordinates were shocked by his words. How dare you, you brat, Kobe, who is the most beautiful pirate in the world? Alvida let out. The pink-haired stuttered, hesitating. Kobe, who is the fattest, ugliest old hag in the East Blue? Luffy asked with a cheeky wide grin on his face. Alvida, Kobe yelled out, making his captain burst out of anger. Kobe, Alvida shouted enraged, about to hit Kobe with her mace. Even if I die, this was definitely worth it, he thought. Before the overweight pirate could hit Kobe, Luffy placed himself in front of his almost made friend. At first, Kobe feared the black-haired would die, but to his surprise, he wasn't even hurt a single bit. Instead, he was having the widest smile the kid had ever seen. I'm a rubber man, hitting me with such a weak weapon won't help you, the 17-year-old proudly said. Men, attack. Kill both of those brats, the overweight pirate ordered. But they, the Alvida pirates, were nowhere near the level of Luffy. He beat every single one of them, without haki and even devil fruit attacks of course. The last one standing was Iron Mace, Alvida. She yelled, charging at Luffy. Gomu Gomu no pistol. Luffy exclaimed. punching Alvida off the ship. Kobe gasped for air. Never in his life he had seen such a strong person. And now that Alvida was defeated, he was free again. "How did you stretch your arm like that?" the young boy curiously asked. "I ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi. I can turn my body into rubber," Luffy explained. "By the way, are we friends?" "Yeah, I wanted to ask that too," Kobe said. "Do you still want to become a Marine?" "Yes, but I'll always remember you saving me. Do you know where Shell's Town is?" Luffy now asked, changing the topic. "Yes, it's not far from here." "Good, I want to recruit Zoro as my nakama," the older one declared, wanting to see him again. "Zoro? You mean pirate hunter, Roronoa Zoro?" "No, that's impossible. You can't recruit that guy. He hates pirates and will probably kill Y-Bonk. Asterisk. Ow, why did you hit me this time? You overreacted," Luffy explained with a calm tone. "Hey look," Kobe shouted. "There is a boat and someone inside. Perhaps he or she will help us get to Shell's Town." "Nami," Luffy thought. "Okay Kobe, let's get to the boat," he shouted, jumping off the ship after grabbing his friend. Kobe just screamed due to Luffy's madness. On a small boat, there was a girl with orange hair. She was counting the money she had stolen from the fancy ship before Alvida and her crew attacked it. There wasn't much from the ship after the raid and the fight she didn't notice. Suddenly, her calm voyage was interrupted by two boys, one around her age with a straw hat, the other one noticeably younger and with glasses, who crashed into her boat. She really didn't know what to say about this. "Oi, no I mean pretty girl. Will you take us to Shell's Town?" Luffy loudly asked. He was so happy to see her. It was better than the first time to him. Oh man, he definitely knows how to talk with people, both Nami and Kobe thought. "Why yes, I was also going to Shell's Town," Nami answered, not knowing what to do. "So, who are you?" Luffy asked, although knowing her name, she was his one and only navigator after all. "I'm Nami," she nervously brought out of her lips, "and who are you?" "I'm Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates," he proudly stated, knowing the first impression wouldn't be that good. "So you're a pirate?" she asked, raising an angry brow. "Yes, do you want to be my nakama?" the 17-year-old requested, smiling brightly at her. "What? Hell no. I hate pirates," the orange-haired snapped. "Why?" Luffy asked, pretending like he didn't know her past, experiences with bad pirates, and Arlong, especially Arlong. He wanted to get her trust early. "They're all dirty thieves and murderers," she growled in disgust. Now, Luffy began, lecturing her. It was funny to him, since she used to lecture him all the time in his former life. First, not all pirates are evil. Second, this is ironic, coming from a thief like you, isn't it? "Oh shut up, you don't know anything," the girl groaned. "If I don't know anything, why don't you tell me?" the Straw Hat asked. "Give me a reason why I should tell you," the Ginger demanded. "Because I could help you," Luffy simply stated. It was the truth. He really wanted to help his nakama, more than ever. Could he really? No way. Not Arlong, she thought, believing fishmen were stronger than all humans. "Hey guys, look, we're there," Kobe exclaimed, pointing with his finger at the docks. The three arrived in Shell's Town. "Hey Nami," Luffy said, pointing to Nami. "Have you made up your mind yet?" "Maybe I could use him," Nami viciously thought. "I might tell you, but for that you need to get me a specific map," she stated, convinced he'd actually do that for her. "And where would that map be?" Luffy asked. "In the Marine base," the girl answered. "And while you're getting the map, I'll stay and wait here." "Okay, we'll do, what?" "But Luffy-san, you can't just steal something from a Marine base," Kobe shouted in disbelief. "Who said anything of stealing? And besides, that's where I wanted to go in the first place." Luffy spoke. "Yosh, let's go Kobe." To get some information, the two young boys went to a tavern. When Luffy asked about Roronoa Zoro, everyone glared at them, except a girl named Rika, who was willing to speak. "What do you know about Zoro?" Luffy asked. "He's a good man. He saved my life. 3 weeks ago, Captain Morgan-san's son Helmeppo-san came here to eat. Suddenly, his dog attacked me and Zoro-san killed the dog, saving my life. And for killing his dog, Helmeppo-san wanted to execute him. But Zoro-san made a deal with Helmeppo-san. If he doesn't eat anything for 4 weeks, But Helmeppo-san doesn't want to keep his promise. He's going to kill him in 3 days." "Helmeppo, you douchebag. Well, at least he'll be a good guy after joining the Marines," Luffy thought. "I'm going to the Marine base and give Zoro-san some rice balls," Rika said. "Nope," Luffy decided. "It's too dangerous for a little girl like you, but after I free him, I'll bring him here. Then you can give him as many rice balls as you want." "But no Rika, he's right. What if you get caught by Helmeppo or even worse, Captain Morgan? You're staying here," Rika's mother scolded. "Okay mom," she muttered, clearly disappointed. "So, Kobe, are we going?" Luffy urgently asked. "Why yeah, right away. Yosh, wait for us, Zoro." Luffy and Kobe arrived at the walls of 153rd branch. The young captain then used his devil fruit powers to lift Kobe and himself up the wall. They were now staring at Zoro, who was tied to a wooden pole. Said swordsman then saw them. "Oi kids, get out of here. You're an eyesore," Zoro shouted. Luffy jumped over the wall. Kobe just watched, thinking about the negative consequences. She, hungry?" The pirate greeted the prisoner, joking a little. "If you came here to mock me, I don't care. I won't eat anything until next week, when Helmeppo lets me go. You do realize he won't hold his promise. He's going to have you executed in 3 days." Luffy bluntly informed his future first mate. "Fuck, I knew it. That spoiled little shit," the green-haired snarled. "By the way, I'm Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates. Do you want to be my nakama?" "As if I would want to be a pirate. I'm a bounty hunter. I kill people like you for lunch. If I get your swords, would you join me then? I mean, it's better than dying." The Straw Hat tried to convince him. "Fine, I'll join you if you get back my swords. I'm sure they are in Helmeppo's room." The green-haired spoke, sighing in defeat. "Yosh, it's a deal then," Luffy said, while stretching his arms towards the base tower. "Gomu Gomu no rocket. If you wonder how I did that, I ate the Gomu Gomu no mi. I'm a rubber man," he shouted, flying towards the tower roof. Quickly approaching, he saw Captain Morgan's statue being set up. "I remember I had fun destroying this statue the first time. I should do this again." Flying through the air like a rocket, Luffy decapitated Morgan's statue, much to the Marine's horror. "Hey Morgan, your statue sucks." Axe hand, Morgan's blood was boiling now. "Kill him, men, don't ever let him see the light of the sun again." Luffy managed to defeat dozens of Marine soldiers without breaking a single sweat. "Where's Helmeppo's room?" he asked a soldier who he picked up and grabbed by the collar. "Down the stairs, on the left," the Marine said before passing out. The Straw Hat ran to said room and took Zoro's swords. He then left the tower, not looking for the map, knowing it's not there. When he was about to give Zoro his swords back, he was greeted by Captain Morgan and his soldiers. Helmeppo also came by. "How dare you try to free Roronoa Zoro? I was going to have him executed in 3 days, the blonde man spat. "You're not executing anybody, egghead," Luffy declared, insulting Helmeppo. "Daddy, he insulted me, do something." "You've done enough, Straw Hat, men, open fire." The soldiers fired bullets at Luffy. Instead of dodging them, he let the bullets hit him, so he could repel them. Every Marine except Morgan was shocked. How did he do that?" "He ate a devil fruit." Marine captain explained. "Devil fruits can make the user breath fire or cause tsunamis, it varies on the fruit." "That's right, I ate the Gomu Gomu no mi. I can turn my body into rubber." The Marines were slowly backing away from Luffy. Captain Morgan didn't like this at all. "Everyone who is scared of this brat, shoot yourself immediately," he ordered. Because the Marines were too scared of Morgan, they put their pistol ends on their heads, ready to shoot. What kind of Marine orders his own men to shoot themselves? Luffy yelled, angry about the man's decision. "Gomu Gomu no pistol." Luffy hit Captain Morgan with medium strength, hitting him hard, but still allowing him to stand up. "Okay brat, this is it, die," he furiously shouted, aiming his axe hand at the 17-year-old. "Armament," Luffy mumbled. A part of his head turned black, but this wasn't visible due to his hair blocking the sight. After the fearsome Marine hit the teen with his axe hand, he was shocked to see his best weapon break into pieces. So were his men, his son, Zoro and Kobe. "How did he break the unbreakable axe?" some Marines exclaimed. "This is where I finish you off, Morgan, Gomu Gomu no bazooka." Luffy launched both of his fists with high speed into his opponent. The ex-captain flew high into the air, possibly landing somewhere in the sea, to be captured later. All spectators except Helmeppo cheered about the end of Axe Hand, Morgan's terror reign. This cannot be. A traumatized Helmeppo let out, knowing the townspeople and even the Marines will want to have revenge for everything he had done. He couldn't hide behind his father's status anymore. The blonde man wanted to get out of there as fast as possible, but a long, stretched arm and a hand with a grip harder than iron prevented him from doing so. "Now listen close, if you don't do as I say, I'll make Zoro cut you in 3 pieces. Understand?" The boy who defeated his father told him with a cold, dead glare. "Excuse me," a Marine soldier from behind began, getting Luffy's attention. "I'm Commander Ripper, base commander of 153rd Branch. We'd like to thank you for ending Captain Morgan's tyranny. What can I do for you?" "There are 2 things you can do. First, this guy over there," he said, pointing to a shy Kobe, still watching from behind the wall, "wants to become a Marine. Please allow him to join. Second, this guy over there," he said, pointing to a shivering Helmeppo, "needs to learn some manners. Make him join, so he can grow up and be more of a man than the crybaby daddy's boy he is now. That's all." "We will gladly accept your requests," Ripper answered. Luffy now turned to Zoro, smiling. "Will you be my nakama after I free you?" "Yes, but there is one thing." The swordsman spoke. "My dream is to become the world's greatest swordsman. If you dare to be an obstacle to my dream, I will kill you." She, Don't worry, Luffy said, laughing. He then cut Zoro's ties, freeing him. Where are we going now, Captain? Zoro asked, accepting his new future. Where do you think? Getting you some food. You haven't eaten for 3 freaking weeks. And so, Luffy and Zoro left after saying goodbye to Kobe and the Marines from 153rd Branch. In Rika's mother's tavern, everyone was looking at Luffy and his first mate, who were eating plate after plate. So, where are you going now? Rika's mother asked. We will continue our adventure. We will continue our adventure, Luffy answered, his mouth full. Suddenly, Ripper and his fellow Marines came in. We're in your debt for bringing down Captain Morgan, but you have to leave, you're pirates after all. We were going to leave anyway, Luffy told, not caring the slightest. Moments later, Rika's mother came with a big brown bag. This is for you, there's food inside, she said to Luffy and Zoro. Thanks, watch after yourselves. Now come Zoro, we had to go. It's okay Luffy, I'm coming, Zoro muttered, slightly annoyed. On the docks of Shellstown, they met Nami. Who is this girl? Zoro asked. That's Nami, my future navigator. The Straw Hat answered. Once again, it was the truth, although this time Nami didn't like the idea. I told you before, I will not become a pirate, and besides, where's the map? She demanded. Unfortunately, the map you wanted wasn't there, but I am sure that you will find the map you desire in Orangetown, Luffy explained. Good, then let's go there, Nami ordered. Hey, since when are you the captain? Zoro questioned. It's okay Zoro, how to get there? Luffy spoke. Nami blushed hearing this. Her blush was interrupted by Luffy's question. Hey Nami, when I get your map, will you tell me why you don't want to become a pirate? Damn, this guy won't give up, she sighed. Fine, I'll tell you. She. Super. Chapter 4, Orangetown, Red Nose. After a long trip, over 1 hour to be exact, the trio arrived in Orangetown. To them, the town seemed empty, which was almost true. After the buggy pirates took over the town, they drove all inhabitants away. Hey Captain, what are we going to do with those clowns? Zoro asked. On their way to Orangetown, the three were attacked by 3 pirates, who worked for Buggy the Clown. Unluckily for them, they didn't know who Luffy and Zoro were, before said 2 beat them up. After the event, the injured pirates were forced to row. Let them guide us to their captain, Luffy answered. He knows for sure where the map Nami wants is. Damn you or, Captain Boogie Bill make you pay. Damn you all, Captain Buggy will make you pay, tightrope walking Funan Bro 3 cursed, his face swollen and purple. Yeah, just bring us to your captain. I want his treasures and the map for the Grand Line, Nami snarled. Why do you want the map FOA de Grand Line? UOAR to weak Eniba. Why do want the map for the Grand Line? You're too weak anyway. Tightrope walking Funan Bro 2 asked, just as beaten as Funan Bro 3. This is only the beginning, my crew isn't Fini, Luffy began, but Nami interrupted him. Don't ask questions, just bring us to your goddamn captain, she yelled, hitting the 3 Funan Bros with her fist. Why did you hit me? I didn't say anything. Why did you hit me? I didn't say anything, tightrope walking Funan Bro 1 spoke. As Nami raised her fist, he immediately shut up. After some running and climbing, they reached Buggy the Clown. The clown certainly wasn't happy to see his men beaten up. You dare to hurt my flashy crew? Don't you know I'm the mighty Buggy the Clown? He roared. The red-nosed man then sighted Luffy's hat. He knew it was linked to Shanks, who he cursed. Your straw hat, Buggy remarked. Yes, my straw hat, I got it from Shanks as a kid, cool guy, I looked up to him, Luffy said with a big smile. You know the Yonko Shanks? Zoro and Nami exclaimed, staring at Luffy in disbelief. I knew this straw hat was linked to that red-haired bastard Shanks, the clown shouted. Shanks has told me about you. Luffy began, he said you were a funny idiot. What? I'm gonna kill him, he yelled, anger burning in his eyes. I doubt that, he's a Yonko, while you're not even on the Grand Line, Luffy spoke, laughing. If you're underestimating my power, you're making a big mistake. Now look at this, after that, you won't be such a big mouth anymore. Domingos, load the buggy ball, Buggy shouted. The superhuman Domingos put a cannonball in a cannon. The buggy ball was powerful enough to level a city block. One of them lighted the fuse. Shortly after the buggy ball got fired out, Luffy did a quick move to reflect the lethal weapon. Gomu Gomu no Fuzen, Luffy called. The cannonball was fired back to Buggy's men, knocking out almost all of them. The black-haired boy then returned to his normal form. He had a serious look on his face. Buggy, I can't let you destroy this town. Wait, you have devil fruit powers? Buggy exclaimed, surprised by the teen inflating like a balloon. Yes, I ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi. I'm a rubber man. With this power, I'll kick your ass into the comm belt. Zoro and Nami were speechless at Luffy's courage and self-confidence. Especially Nami, whose eyes widened after seeing the 17-year-old's astonishing powers. So you choose to fight me, but I warn you, I also have devil fruit powers. I ate the Bara Bara no Mi. I can split my body and am completely immune to swords. Speaking of swords, Kabaji, bring me their heads, you too, Moji, Buggy yelled, some his best fighters. Moji is a primitive-looking middle-aged man. His hair has ears of a teddy bear and his chest is covered in fur, while everything below is shaved. He has a pet lion called Richie who is big, has green fur and a purple mane. Richie is the beast and Moji the tamer. Kabaji is a young man with a strange hairstyle. He has a long, blue and white checkered scarf. He is a swordsman who rides a unicycle. Kabaji, you take care of the swordsman. Moji, your job is easy. You only fight the girl. And I'm gonna tear this straw hat brat apart, Buggy ordered. Kabaji attacked Zoro. So you're Roronoa Zoro, the supposedly best swordsman of the East Blue. You don't look like much to me, Kabaji mocked Zoro. Likewise, shitty acrobat, Zoro taunted Kabaji. Tick marks appeared on the ladder. Shitty acrobat, will you say this after I slice you up like a lemon? Kyokugi, Yukamori Satsujin Jiken, Kabaji shouted, disappearing in a cloud of dust. Where are you? Zoro asked, readying his swords. Careful Zoro, he's planning a sneak attack, Luffy told, knowing every attack of his past enemies. Sneak attacks, huh? Let's see how he likes this, Santoryu, Onigiri. The dust got blown away. Zoro's and Kabaji's blades collided. Kabaji was angry, because his attack didn't work, thanks to a captain warning his nakama. You got lucky this time Roronoa, but can you dodge this? Kyokugi, Kaji Oyaji. Kabaji spat fire. Zoro put his hands in front of his face and screamed in pain. Quadruple AR. Zoro, Luffy yelled. Now that Zoro was incapable of fighting, he was an easy target for Kabaji. I have to rescue him, he thought. Oi, unicycle, you're going to pay for what you did to Zoro. Gomu Gomu no bazooka. Luffy stretched his arms back while running towards Kabaji and then hit him with full force, launching him in a building, critically injuring him. Why'd you do that, you flashy bastard? Your battle is with me, Buggy shouted, enraged about being ignored by Luffy. You're not worth the energy, Luffy answered, not caring about Buggy. Buggy was on the verge of going completely mad. What did you say? I said you're not worth fighting. I need to go check on Nami, perhaps she's in trouble. Ah, you mean your girlfriend? Richie is probably swallowing her, Buggy sneered. But I can't let you get away. You hurt my men and dared to oppose me. Therefore, I shall flashily punish you. But Luffy didn't care at all. He just ran to find Nami. Leaving her alone with Richie was a mistake. After 2 minutes of running, he found Nami in front of a pet shop, blood coming out of her left arm. Her arm was bitten by Richie. Beside her, there were a dog and some people. Are you the people of this town? Luffy asked. The people nodded. One man spoke up. I'm Mayor Boodle. It seems you're fighting with Buggy the Clown. Who are you? I'm Monkey D. Luffy, captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, the teen answered. Another pirate? One of the people exclaimed. Go away, you're not welcome here, another person yelled. The townspeople were hateful, but Mayor Boodle stopped them. He may be a pirate, but for now he's not an enemy. He's fighting Buggy, our real enemy. Fighting? Ha ha ha. Then why is he here? Moji mocked Luffy, riding Richie. He probably ran away from Buggy because he chickened out. Luffy's eyes had a dark expression. He pointed at Nami's injured arm. Did your lion do that? The pirate captain quietly, yet gravely asked. Yes. She tried to defend herself with her staff. How pathetic. If she can't defend herself properly, that's what she gets. He sneered, proud of what his pet did. Nobody attacks my friends and gets away with it. Gomu Gomu no Gatling, Luffy screamed. Luffy, Nami said, touched by Luffy's action for her. Richie and Moji were touched too, but in a different way. They were touched, well, pretty fast, and in a pain-emitting way. Seeing how their oppressor's first mate got beaten to pulp, the people of Orangetown started to feel a little positive for Luffy. But their prejudice, for him being a pirate, was still present. Mayor Boodle was the first to express his gratitude. Thank you very much, the people of Orangetown suffered greatly under Buggy. He forced us to leave our homes and live in the forest. Now we can finally eat. Luffy spoke, his eyes still shadowed. What do you mean? The mayor asked, confused by the 17-year-old's words. I haven't defeated Buggy yet. Yes, Straw Hat, you haven't defeated me and you never will. Buggy smirked from the top of the town's tallest building. Beside him, there was a cannon loaded with the infamous Buggy balls. Buggy, an older man snarled. I see you've sided with the Straw Hat, people of Orangetown. But this doesn't matter, because all of you are weak like babies. The clown shouted, laughing like a maniac. Prepare for the final Buggy ball. Gyahahahaha. Buggy opened fire. Seemingly, he forgot about Luffy's ability of bouncing back cannonballs. Is he really that stupid? Did he forget I used this ability not long ago? Luffy thought. Well, it's easier for me then? Gomu Gomu no Fuzen. The Buggy ball bounced back, but Buggy escaped due to his Bara Bara powers. You damn brat. You're ruining my plans, just like Shanks, Buggy angrily yelled. Do you want to know what's strange, Buggy? Luffy began. What? Buggy asked, seriously annoyed by the teenager. How could someone like you be in Roger's crew? Everyone except Luffy froze. Nobody expected a question like this. What? Buggy was in the Pirate King's crew? Some people from the crowd exclaimed. No wonder he's so dangerous. Stop, Buggy roared. I'm dead if the Marines become aware of this. No, you're gonna die by my hands for trying to kill the people here. And also for ordering your crew to kill my nakama and my friend. What if they actually died? Zoro and Nami are heavily injured. Your sentimental bullshit is getting on my nerves. A pirate kills people, that's a known fact, Buggy furiously yelled. No, not me. Luffy spoke. I don't kill people, especially not innocents. I shatter their dreams. Come shatter my dreams then, Buggy shouted, charging towards Luffy. If you want it so bad, have it, Gomu Gomu no, bara bara ho, Buggy interrupted. His fists with knives on them charged at Luffy, who easily dodged them. Bara bara festival, Buggy tried again. Luffy was surrounded by dozens of different body parts. He wasn't able to hit all parts at the same exact time, so he turned to Nami. Nami, do what you're best at. Nami understood what he meant, but she wasn't really pleasured with the task. Don't you see I'm injured? Buggy has a treasure of 10 million berry, Luffy informed, convincing Nami. While Buggy was distracted, the ginger secretly stole the clown's limb parts and tied them together. Luffy quickly looked over to her, seeing how much she helped him. He punched Buggy's head to see his reaction. Buggy reacted as he expected. He reassembled his body parts. To his surprise, only his hands, feet and torso came back. Where did my other parts go? He panicked, then looking over to a certain young girl. You thief. That's my job, thank you, she mocked Buggy while showing him her tongue. You're often talking about flashy things, right Buggy? Luffy spoke to Buggy, getting his attention. How about I give you a flashy flight? Gomu Gomu no bazooka. And so, Chibi Buggy flew off, cursing Luffy once more. Cur RSSEYOUUUUSTRAWHATTT. As the townspeople watched their enemy disappear, they cheered for Luffy. We can finally return home, most of them cheerfully exclaimed. Luffy turned to Boodle. Could you do me some favors please? You freed our town, we owe you in return. What do you want? The mayor answered, free from all hate towards pirates. Could you please take care of my nakama and friend please? They need medical help, Luffy asked. Yes, of course. The friends of our savior are also our friends. Good. I need to get some stuff, and while I'm absent, could you get me a big black cloth and some paint please? He asked further. Whatever you want. And when we set sail, could you be so kindly and give us lots of food, especially meat, to restock? I promise. This is the final thing I'm asking for. He asked even further. If that's the final favor, we'll do it. Shishishi, thanks Mayor, Luffy said, running to Buggy's base to get his treasure in the map for the Grand Line. When Zoro opened his eyes, he felt pain rushing through his body. He was covered in bandages. He turned around, a doctor was around. Oi doctor, what happened? Zoro asked, looking at him. You've suffered severe burns on your face, and some less severe burns on your neck and upper chest, the doctor explained. Will they leave scars? He wanted to know. Luckily, they won't. Here, the doctor answered, showing him a jar of face cream. If you rub this on your face 2 times a day, your burns will heal 4 times faster. Thanks, Zoro muttered with a sign of gratefulness in his voice. Suddenly, Luffy came through the door. Zoro, you're awake. Captain. Zoro spoke, slightly smirking. Nice to see you. How did the battle go? I sent him to the moon, he proudly stated. What about the girl? The green-haired asked. Nami, she's over there, he said, pointing at the other side of the room. Zoro felt stupid. How did I not notice her when she is in the same room? Nami was silent. Should I trust him or not? He is not the smartest person I've met, but he's extremely strong. Maybe I should know, maybe he can beat some humans and weaker fishmen, but not Arlong, she thought, already liking the pirate as a good person. Luffy walked towards Nami. Nami, how are you? He asked, genuinely caring about his future nakama. I'm fine, she simply responded, thinking she could fool the young pirate. But Luffy wasn't dumb anymore. He knew when Nami was thinking about her feelings, and he knew when she was sad or unhappy, so he decided to slowly approach to that topic. You have a tattoo, he exclaimed, acting like he was shocked or surprised. Nami was caught off guard. She looked at her arm. It wasn't completely bandaged, her tattoo was clearly visible. Damn it, they haven't properly covered it, she thought. That's so cool, tell me about it, Luffy exclaimed, faking his attitude. 10 million berry, she demanded. It's on the boat, Luffy said, changing his attitude to normal. Oh okay. Does it have something to do with the fact that you don't want to become a pirate? He asked, digging further into it. Yes, Nami spoke, Listen, it's nice of you that you're interested in me, want me as your navigator and want to help me, but some things are meant to be kept private. Did something happen in your past? Luffy tried to comfort her. Yes, and this is the exact reason why I hate pirates, she explained. You are my friend, and I don't let anyone hurt my friends. Tell me who did this to you and I'll make him pay, Luffy sternly promised. I already said it, it's nice that you want to help me, but you can't beat Arlong, the orange-haired shouted. Arlong the fish man? Luffy asked, already knowing everything about Arlong. This wasn't supposed to come out. Tears started to build up in her eyes. Don't worry, I'll beat him up, Luffy declared, slamming his fist into his palm. He's a monster, you can't, she roared, glaring at Luffy. Give me a chance, and I'll prove you I can beat him, he spoke, warming her up. I wish you could beat him, I wish you could make him pay, Nami cried. Be my nakama. What, at first you, she exclaimed, but Luffy interrupted him. My nakama make me stronger, if you join me, I'll become stronger. Luffy explained, it was as simple as that. Oh Luffy, I'll become your navigator, she whined into his shirt. I trust you, please help me. I will. The future Pirate King promised, glaring at the sky. The Straw Hats were ready to set sail. Luffy had one more thing to tell the people of Orangetown. Dear people of Orangetown, I made this flag a few Hoger of the Straw Hat Pirates is drawn on it. Here's an advice. Make lots of copies of it and hang the copies on different places of this island. That would mean this island is under our protection. The townspeople had different opinions on Luffy's idea. Some said, that would be good, since this kind of flag intimidates others. Others said, it would be bad if they lived under pirates' protection. But in the end, it was Mayor Boodle's choice. Mayor Boodle, what are you saying about this? A citizen asked. I'm fine with this. The mayor answered. But Mayor Boodle, a concerned man protested, not believing what his mayor said. It doesn't matter if they're pirates or not, they have proven themselves to be good people. I believe this town will be safe under their protection, the old man firmly said. We've got to go now, bye-bye, Luffy shouted, already in his boat. Thank you for everything, the people yelled, waving their hands while said boat floated off. A few minutes later, only the silhouette of Orangetown was visible. Our next destination is Syrup Village, can you navigate us there, Nami? Luffy asked. That was more of a rhetorical question, of course she could. Of course, navigating is my third best ability, Nami said. Then let's go there, Luffy joyfully exclaimed, throwing his arms in the air. Wait for us Usopp, we're coming, Chapter 5. Usopp the Lying Hero. After 1 hour of sailing, talking and laughing, the Straw Hats reached Syrup Village. They docked on the northern coast. Previously, a boy Luffy's age ran from a horde of angry villagers. They were angry because he always lied to them. But as always, the long-nosed liar got away due to his immense running speed and durability. His hiding skills were impressive too. Said boy and his 3 loyal followers then noticed the 3 young pirates coming out of their boat. Not only were those 4 liars, they were also cowards. So, their captain decided to try scaring the foreign pirates away. Hold on pirates, this is territory of the Usopp pirates. I'm Captain Usopp and have 80 million men. So better go back where you came from. The inexperienced pirate lied. His followers waved 6 flags. 80 million? More like 3, Nami spoke, seeing through his obvious lie. They found out, the 3 kids exclaimed, running away like rabbits. Oh okay, 80 million was an overstatement, but I'm still a mighty warrior of the sea, Captain Usopp, he stated. So you're Usopp? That's good, I finally met you, Luffy loudly said. You've heard of me? I mean, of course you've heard of me, I'm Captain Usopp. The boy lied, again. Your father Usopp always told me about you, Luffy told, sounding truthful. Wait, you know my father? Usopp asked, his interest arisen. Yes, he was in my village when I was young, he used to tell me a lot about how great you are, Luffy explained. If that's the case, how about I invite you to a meal? He offered. There you can tell me about my father. Sounds great, Luffy called, excited about the meal. By the way, I'm Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates. In a small restaurant, the Usopp pirates and the Straw Hat pirates talked about what they've done and Luffy told his future sniper about his father. And that's how he left. Luffy finished. Usopp had stars in his eyes, admiring the fact that his father is one of a Yonko's best men. Now that's what I call an interesting childhood, Zoro commented. Nami didn't say anything. His childhood was a lot better than mine, she thought, remembering the bad things Arlong did to her and her family. Usopp then looked at his pocket watch, realizing he's got to go. He stood up, put some money on the table and ran off. I gotta go now, can't say where, he loudly exclaimed, running at high speed. His nakama, who came in a minute later, walked over to the Straw Hats. They saw Zoro rubbing his stomach, so they assumed something weird. Where is our captain? One of them asked, scared of the Straw Hats. Your captain, Zoro began, scaring the 3 even further, was delicious. Ah, they're cannibals, they screamed in a unison, running for their lives. Are they for real? Nami yelled, annoyed by their gullibility. Let's look for Usopp. Let's look for Usopp, Luffy exclaimed with lots of meat in his mouth. That glutton, both Nami and Zoro thought, annoyed by their captain's bottomless pit. On the other side of Syrup Village, there was a mansion where Kaya, Usopp's girlfriend, lived. Usopp went there every day to cheer her up with his stories because she was sick and her parents died a year ago. However, her butler Klahadore aka Captain Kuro was against it, saying Usopp was bad influence for her. This time, like many other times, Klahadore went to check the garden. He wasn't surprised to see Usopp there. Miss Kaya, haven't I told you so many times to stay away from garbage? He scolded, deliberately not addressing Usopp, due to him being disgusted by the lying boy. Klahadore, Usopp isn't garbage, she scolded back, defending the boy she cares for. He is the son of a pirate. A pirate? These criminals should all be thrown into prison, and never be allowed to get out again, he shouted. Hey, at least my father is a proud man, Usopp yelled, defending his father's pride. A pirate's pride isn't worth anything, they're all dirty, he was about to say, until he was interrupted. A bunch of people screamed, who came flying over the mansion's fence. They were Ninjin, Tamanegi, Piemon, Nami, Zoro, and Luffy. Oh no, even more unwanted intruders, Klahadore muttered. Captain Usopp, you're alive, Ninjin, Tamanegi and Piemon exclaimed, happy to see their captain. What? Of course I'm alive. Who told you I was dead? Usopp asked. I thought you were eaten. Ninjin cried. Eaten by this scary man. Piemon cried, pointing at Zoro. We thought we lost our captain, Tamanegi added, almost crying. Ahem, I've had enough of all of you, you seven, leave now and leave this house and Miss Kaya alone, the butler ordered. Usopp wanted to punch him, but Luffy held him back. Leave him, Usopp, he's not worth it. The captain of the Straw Hat Pirates decided it would be the best if they left. Despite Usopp's heavy protests, he took him with him and left Kaya's property. After leaving, Usopp wanted to yell at Luffy, but he told him other things. Why did you stop me from punching him? He insulted my father, and worse than that, he insulted my father's pride. Usopp yelled, furious at Luffy. He's not worth it, Usopp. Luffy just said. People like him aren't worth the energy and time you would waste on them. But, the long nose began, but Luffy interrupted him. We can talk about this later, how about a walk to the cliffs to calm down, he suggested. Yeah, alright. The sharpshooter mumbled. After some minutes of walking and a few discussions, Usopp started to laugh again. He quickly forgot the event with the fake butler. But his happiness was short-lived. As they were on the cliffs, they looked down to see Captain Kuro and his first mate Django. The two pirates were talking about their plan consisting of killing Kaya and the entire population of Syrup Village. After that they would rob all their belongings and escape. Usopp felt rage building up inside of him. Luffy felt it too, but he didn't express it. To prevent Kuro and Django from hearing them, Luffy put his hand in on Usopp's mouth, closing it effectively. Despite heavy protests from Usopp, Luffy held his friend's mouth shut until the two top Black Cat pirates disappeared. Then Luffy took his hand off Usopp's mouth. Why did you put your hand on my mouth? Usopp angrily asked, just as Luffy expected. What would you think would happen if they heard us? Luffy asked back. Usopp was calm. I guess you're right, but I've got to warn my people, they're in danger, especially Kaya, the sniper spoke. Don't bother. Luffy began. They wouldn't listen to you, since you're known as the liar of the village. Wait, that's it. What is it, Luffy? Usopp curiously asked. Run through your village and yell, pirates aren't coming tomorrow at sunrise from the northern coast. Since they are not going to believe you, they will prepare themselves, the 17-year-old said. Yes, you're right, I will just use my lies. Thanks for this idea, Luffy. You're a genius, Usopp exclaimed. Yosh, go to your village now, and I'll go tell my nakama. Luffy spoke, running off. Pirates aren't coming tomorrow at sunrise from the northern coast. Pirates aren't coming tomorrow at sunrise from the northern coast, Usopp yelled, running through the village. What bullshit is this rascal talking again? A villager angrily asked his neighbor. He's saying that pirates aren't coming tomorrow at sunrise from the northern coast, but that's surely a lie, the neighbor answered. But if that's a lie, oh no, quick, tell everyone to arm themselves and be at the northern coast at sunrise. The villager shouted, fearing for his village. Luffy already told his nakama about all this and observed the situation from a hill above. Oh Usopp, you're the best liar I've ever seen, he thought. The next day was pretty calm. Everything was silent, nobody was to see. Captain Kuro marched down the road down to the northern coast. From the furthest depth of the horizon, headed was the ship of the Black Cat pirates. After some time, the ship landed. First mate Django came out of the ship to meet his captain. Is everything going as planned? Django asked. Yes, they didn't realize anything. Now call all men, we're ready to attack, Kuro ordered. The villagers who watched from the woods stared at Kuro in disbelief. All this time they haven't suspected Klahadore of being Captain Kuro. As the Black Cat pirates started running up the road that leads to the village, the inhabitants of Syrup Village blocked their way. "We have seen everything, Captain Kuro," a villager snarled, spitting the last two words out like they were venom. "We might not be as strong as your crew, but we will defend our village to the last man." "Ha ha ha ha," Kuro laughed. "Defending your village? What a futile attempt, but since you've discovered my true identity, I will have to kill every single one of you insects in cold blood. You won't lay a single finger on them," a male teenage voice yelled from the shadows. "Who is there? Show yourselves immediately," Kuro angrily ordered. 7 people came out of the shadows. They were the Usopp Pirates and Straw Hat Pirates, their captains leading their nakama respectively. "Ah, it's just you brats. Just thinking alone of being somehow able to defeat us is an insult for me. This especially applies to the Usopp Pirates," Kuro spat. "Don't you ever make fun of me again. I might not have 80 million men or been to the sea once, but I am a proud warrior who will save his village and defeat you once and for all," Usopp declared. The inhabitants of Syrup Village didn't think much of the village's liar before, but this time, they were truly impressed by his courage and love for his home. "Don't make me laugh, you're nothing but filthy garbage, just like I told you yesterday at Kaya's mansion," the 16 million berry man snarled. "The only garbage here is you, Klahadore." The voice came from a blonde girl Usopp's age, who came walking down the road in a big coat. "Kaya." Well, if it isn't my main target," Kuro laughed. "Tell me, what did you see when you stepped in the living room?" "My loyal servant Mary covered in blood, thanks to you, Captain Kuro," she coldly said, pulling out a flintlock, shocking everybody. Now, take that down, Miss Kaya, weapons are not toys," he mocked her. "Did you kill my parents?" she asked in a rather loud tone, but hiding her anger. "As much as I wanted to kill you, your parents really died due to sickness," Kuro explained. "Why did you want to kill me, Kuro?" she asked, tears coming out of her eyes. "Do you remember the beautiful memories we shared, Miss Kaya? Remember when we went shopping, ate the cakes you made, and sang together? They were beautiful memories, to you. To me, however, all of it was an ordeal. 3 years ago, I came here to give up my life as a pirate. I've had enough of being chased by the Marines. At first I made Django hypnotize a crew member of mine to believe he's me, Captain Kuro. Luckily, he was looking similar enough, so that the stupid Marines actually believed he was me. When a Marine ship attacked us again, I killed everyone on board except one, former Lieutenant Commander Morgan. I ordered Django to make him believe he captured me. So he brought my lookalike, Nujir Yenu, back to 153rd Branch. After Yenu was executed under the name of Captain Kuro, Morgan was promoted to captain. To really make people believe I am dead, I came here to live a new life, as butler of your family, Miss Kaya. Now I ask you something. Can you imagine the painful humiliation a pirate captain who was once worth 16 million berry had to suffer after becoming a servant of a spoiled little girl? To recompensate my suffering, I had to kill you and gain your inheritance, Kuro coldly answered. Everybody looked at Kuro as if he was a monster. Kaya just dropped the weapon and sank to her knees. It was almost impossible for her to digest the hurtful words that came out of this monster's mouth. Usopp, seeing how he hurt his precious girlfriend, couldn't control his feelings either. He lashed at Kuro with his fist at full force, giving his cheek a red mark. "How dare you do this to Kaya, you monster," he yelled at Kuro. Kuro, already angry, finally lost control. "You insolent little rat. You're gonna pay for laying your filthy hand on my face. I sentence you to death." Usopp was shaking in fear. Kuro was getting out his claws, which were beyond deadly. After attaching his claws, Kuro prepared to slash Usopp's face, but Luffy anticipated. "Gomu Gomu no pistol," Luffy exclaimed, hitting Kuro with his arms stretched forward. "Ah, a devil fruit user," Kuro called. "Time to attack, men, kill everybody who's in your way." The Black Cat pirates attacked. The normal pirates fought with the villagers and easily overpowered them. Nami helped the villagers and knocked some normal pirates out. Zoro fought with the Nyaben brothers, but easily defeated them due to his new, Toragari, technique. Usopp and his nakama ran away protecting Kaya, and Luffy fought with Kuro himself. "I will not let you thwart my plan, Nuki Ashi," Kuro shouted. To others he may seem extremely fast, but in my eyes he's moving like a snail, Luffy thought. He then dodged him. "You're fast, but not as fast as me, creeping cat," the former butler shouted, determined to take the Straw Hat down. Luffy dodged him again and again, due to the fact that his techniques are slower than CP9's Soru. "If sheer speed alone can't defeat you, I'll use my deadly claws, Shikushi," Kuro yelled. His technique was the same as before, only with claws. Luffy easily grabbed his hands and crashed his claws deep in a rock. The 17-year-old then stomped his hands on the ground, breaking the claws. "No, my claws," Kuro yelled in anger. Luffy then jumped high in the air to execute his final attack. Gomu Gomu no stamp Gatling. Feet came down in Kuro's face like rain. It felt like 1,000 anvils hitting him. Captain Kuro then went down as the loser, much to each spectator's shock. After coming down from the air, the Straw Hat glared at the remaining conscious Black Cat pirates. He then spoke to Django. "Gather together your damn crew including your captain, then leave this island and never come back. Once you've done that, go to the closest marine base and hand them over your captain. Tell them I was the one who defeated him. My name is Monkey D. Luffy, and if you refuse to comply my orders, I'll make you sorry, understand?" Django was terrified to the core by that teenager. "You understand, Straw Hat, please don't kill me," he screamed, running away like a coward. The villagers started cheering for Luffy. "You saved our village," they cheerfully exclaimed. Kaya, however, cheered for Usopp instead of Luffy. "You're my hero, Usopp," she spoke, making the lying sniper blush. Nami and Zoro just watched the scene. "What a strong captain we have," they thought, somewhat happy to be Luffy's nakama. "Now everyone." Luffy began. "If you make copies of this flag," Luffy explained, showing the people of Syrup Village the Jolly Roger of the Straw Hat Pirates, "it would mean that this village is under our protection." Some citizens disagreed. "But you're a pirate, and we just got attacked by pirates," one of them spoke. "Listen, there are good pirates and bad marines. We, the Straw Hat Pirates, are some of those good pirates, who want to tell the world that not all pirates are bad. So please accept this gift, it won't cost you a single berry," Luffy explained. "If you're telling the truth, we are gladly accepting your offer," a villager said, others agreeing with him. "Let's have a banquet for our saviors," a man loudly suggested. "Oh yeah, that sounds great," Luffy exclaimed, excited about all the meat he's going to eat. Later that day, the Usopp Pirates and Straw Hat Pirates visited Kaya, who had invited them. She wanted to give them a special present for what they've done. Mary was with her. He was there to show them the present. "This," he spoke, showing the friendly pirates a real ship. "Wow," both Luffy and Usopp exclaimed with stars in their eyes. Nami and Zoro were impressed too, but they decided to keep it silent. "I have designed it and am proud of it, although it's not the greatest ship," he further explained. "Miss Kaya is giving you this as a present. There's also some food inside, so that you have something to eat while overseas." Luffy then turned to Kaya. "Thank you very much, it's so great." "My pleasure," she said after shyly giggling. The Straw Hat Pirates got on their new ship to admire it and then set sail. Their captain walked over to the rear side of the ship. "Oi Usopp," he exclaimed, "come with us." "What? You want me to come with you?" he asked, staring at Luffy in positive disbelief. "It's not a request, it's an order. From now on you're the sniper of the Straw Hats," his new captain answered. "But I can't leave, Kaya is," he began, but was interrupted by the girl he mentioned. "Usopp, I will stay to become a doctor. Once I'm healed, I will be able to look after myself. And you can become the brave warrior of the sea you always wanted to be." "Oh okay," he shouted, running to his house to get his stuff. One day he promised Kaya to become a brave warrior of the sea, and he didn't want to break his promise. A few minutes later, Usopp came back with his stuff. His own nakama were unhappy due to their captain leaving. "Captain Usopp, I know we can't stop you, so please become a brave warrior of the sea," Tamanegi cried out, tears flowing down his eyes. "Captain," Piemon and Ninjin cried. "Usopp Pirates, from now on *sob this crew will be disbanded, so always look after yourselves," the fourth member of the Straw Hat Pirates shouted, crying. "Ready to set sail," Nami exclaimed, addressing Luffy. "Let's go," Luffy cheerfully exclaimed. Zoro was just smirking and Usopp still had tears in his eyes. While slowly sailing away, the four pirates waved their hands at their five friends standing on newly claimed Straw Hat territory. Chapter 6. Don Krieg losing the Krieg. On the Mary, Luffy and Usopp practiced shooting cannonballs. Far away, Luffy discovered a rock in the sea. "Hey Usopp, can you hit the rock?" Luffy challenged him. "Of course, one of the easiest tasks you'll give me, Captain Luffy," the sniper proudly claimed. She, prove me then," Luffy spoke. Usopp moved the cannon. He carefully aimed at the rock. After the cannon shot the exploding ball, nothing was left of the gray rock. "Bullseye!" both Usopp and Luffy exclaimed, dancing around the cannon. Nami and Zoro just looked at the two. Suddenly, a tanned black-haired man entered the ship, carrying another man. The conscious man was wearing black sunglasses and had a kanji tattoo on his left cheek. Over his purple t-shirt he wore a thin blue jacket. The unconscious man was less tanned. On his head he wore a red mask headband-like thing, and over his black t-shirt and yellow shorts he wore a long green coat. Both had swords with them. "Why did you kill Yosaku?" the tanned man shouted, doing some damage to Mary by hitting her with his sword. "Hey, stop hitting Mary," Usopp and Luffy shouted back, planning to punch the intruder. "Oi Johnny, what are you doing here, and what happened to Yosaku?" Zoro asked the swordsman. "Zoro and Ikki. Yosaku and I were resting on a rock, until somebody shot at us. Yosaku was already sick from eating rotten fruit, but the cannonball probably killed him." "Oh Yosaku." the man known as Yosaku explained, crying about his friend's death. Nami inspected the other man called Yosaku and found out something. He's not dead, he's just very ill, she spoke. Oh man, Yosaku's gonna die, Johnny exclaimed, running around in circles with his hands on his head. Chill out, he's not gonna die, Nami shouted, annoyed by Johnny overreacting. Right now, he's only missing a good amount of vitamin C. Luffy, Usopp, pressed some lime juice in his mouth. Luffy and Usopp came back a few seconds later with the limes. They pressed out 50 of them in Yosaku's mouth. Nobody expected Yosaku to wake up healthy after the two finished pressing out the limes. After that, Yosaku ran to Johnny, dancing hand to him, singing some crazy stuff. That's not how it works, you can't get healthy immediately, Nami yelled with sharp teeth, showing her typical menacing side. So, Luffy began, who are you and what are you doing here? Johnny and Yosaku got serious again. I'm Johnny, and I'm Yosaku, they said separately. We're bounty hunters looking for pirates, Yosaku explained. His friend then turned to Zoro. Zoro Aniki, what are you doing on a pirate ship, did you get kidnapped? Nah, my captain Luffy here, he pointed at the 17-year-old, saved my life, so I joined him in return. That's nice to hear. Yosaku spoke, if you're Zoro Aniki's captain, then we won't harm you, Johnny promised. Zoro, how long do you know these guys? Nami curiously asked. I've known them since I became a bounty hunter, Zoro answered, they're good friends. Their friendly talk was interrupted by a marine ship approaching. The superior of the ship, Lieutenant Full Body, leaned over the railing of the vessel, looking at the pirates and the bounty hunter pair. Who's the captain of that ship? The pink-haired man in a suit asked. It's me, Luffy answered, Monkey D. Luffy, captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. Your ship is an eyesore. Sink them, Full Body ordered after badmouthing Mary. A cannon from the lieutenant's ship shot a cannonball at the Going Merry, but Luffy reflected the shot. Gomu Gomu no Fuzan. The cannonball barely missed the ship, much to Full Body's relief. If you try that again, I'll sink you, the pirate captain threatened. Luffy only saved Full Body's ship because the marine's girlfriend was around. She was innocent after all. After the conflict with Full Body was settled, the Straw Hats and their new friends continued their way to the sea restaurant, Barati. They were hungry, so they wanted to eat something. Just wait Sanji, I'm going to make you my chef. Once you're a part of Mary and later Sunny, I will never have to worry about food. The Barati was a literal sea restaurant. The figurehead of the ship serving as a restaurant was a white fish with big orange lips. The interior looked average but noble. The Straw Hat Pirates decided to sit at a big, free table along with the bounty hunter duo. Eventually, Sanji the blonde cook in a black suit came along, asking for the orders. He then cited Nami. Welcome to the Barati my love, I am Sanji, sous chef. May I know what your name is, beautiful? He spoke like a gentleman. My name is Nami, she answered. So what can I get for you, milady? The chef continued. A slice of the best cake, and I'd appreciate if I didn't have to pay, the money-loving girl said. Of course my beautiful, it's on me. Sanji raved with hearts in his eyes, displaying his goofy, by women manipulable side. The arrow cook then gained self-control and turned to the male customers. What do you baboons want? Although the males, especially Zoro, were pissed at the lady lover for his rude remark, they all ordered something to eat. And when it was Luffy's turn, he yelled, meat! Give me lots of meat! Sanji's reaction was just clenching his teeth. Nonetheless, he took the order. While everybody on Luffy's table ate, Sanji went off to serve Full Body and his girlfriend. After love chatting with the Marine Lieutenant's girlfriend and humiliating him in front of at least 50 other guests, Full Body decided to pay him back. He killed a bug by stepping on it and secretly dropped it into the soup he was eating. As Sanji continued his work by leaving for another table, Full Body called him back. Hey waiter, he shouted at Sanji, pointing at his plate. What is that bug doing in my soup? I've told you before, I'm a cook, not a waiter, Sanji answered back in an annoyed tone. Don't try to distract from the issue, there's a bug in my soup, and if you're the cook, then I will hold you responsible, the arrogant Marine ranted. A bug? The young cook asked, not knowing how it got there. Yeah, what is this? Don't tell me it's not a bug, the choleric man shouted. I don't know, I'm not that familiar with insects. The audience cheered at Sanji, who walked away like a boss, and laughed at Full Body, who was humiliated once again. The Marine was fuming. He slowly recollected his mind and grabbed his plate to throw it down, spilling the soup and drawing attention to himself in the process. Listen to me you shitty cook. I'm Iron Fist Full Body, Marine Lieutenant. I will not allow you to humiliate me once again. I am the customer, and the customer has money. You are serving me right now, so treat your superior with some fucking respect, you worthless douchebag. He screamed in uncontrollable rage. Sanji's eyes darkened. He slowly turned around, walking towards Full Body in a menacing way. The people in the crowd were silent, knowing what mistake the Marine has made. Angering Sanji was a deadly mistake, which most customers knew. In front of Full Body, The rather calm cook kneeled down to collect broken pieces of the plate. The pink-haired signed his death warrant by stepping on Sanji's hand to prove his superiority. "Can money fill your stomach?" the blonde quietly asked with a dangerous tone. Full Body just looked at him with confused eyes. "I said," Sanji asked again before unleashing his wrath, "can money fill your stomach?" Luffy watched how his future cook kicked the shit out of that weak marine. Easier frightened people like Nami or Usopp flinched or even covered their eyes. When Sanji was finally done, he grabbed him by the neck of his suit, covered in blood just like the person wearing it, and told him, "Messing with a cook of the sea is a good way to get yourself killed, shitty marine." 2 seconds later, the owner of the restaurant, an old man called Zeph, stormed in from the kitchen. The oddest thing about him was not his braided mustache, but his peg leg on ting with a customer again. "Sanji!" he yelled, speeding towards Sanji and Full Body. Finally, the owner, Full Body, thought in relief. But he was going to be disappointed. Zeph kicked him with his peg leg, sending him flying low on the ground towards the restaurant's exit. "You're another troublemaker, get lost, brat," he shouted with an unfriendly expression on his face. Not even the owner respects his customer. "This demented place with its equally demented employees is getting on my nerves. I swear, I'll get this insane place closed down," the angry marine roared. "Sir, Lieutenant Full Body," a marine soldier who came running from outside, interrupted the dispute between the Bharati chefs and the lieutenant. After stopping, he panted and sweat. "The prisoner has escaped." Immediately after that, a gunshot was heard. The soldier, who was shot from behind from a tanned man with dirty clothes who looks like he hasn't slept or eaten for 3 days, fell over dead. "This is a restaurant, isn't it?" the criminal spat. "Bring me some damn food." "Oi, a customer," a dark-skinned cook named Patty cheerfully exclaimed. Everyone else watched silently. Meanwhile, Full Body quietly crawled out of the restaurant, since the attention was no longer on him. As the armed escapee approached, Patty built himself up in front of him. "Welcome to the Bharati, customer. Do you have money with you?" "I don't have money, but do you take bullets?" he threatened, pulling out his pistol. Patty reacted by rapidly removing the pistol from the palms of the dangerous individual. Then he smashed the thug's head multiple times into the floor, making him bleed. Following that, Patty gained cheers from most cooks and most customers. After getting wounded and nothing to eat, the criminal silently went outside. On the other hand, Sanji went to the kitchen. After coming out with a plate full of spaghetti, Sanji went outside too. Luffy decided to follow Sanji. Outside, Luffy and his future nakama found the man, who was beaten up not long ago, lying on the ground. Not being able to see a starving man on the sea, the generous cook decided to give him the plate full of spaghetti. "I don't want this. I don't want to be pitied by you," he spoke, refusing the meal Sanji has cooked. "I'm not pitying you, don't think that of me. However, I cannot see a starving man on the sea. That's the only reason I gave you this," Sanji calmly answered. After some thinking, the murderer decided to accept the meal. Thank you. I'm Jin. What's your name, good man?" he asked. "My name is Sanji." Finishing the conversation, Sanji turned around and leaned over the railing of the Bharati. He pulled out a cigarette out of his pocket and lit it up. Luffy also leaned over the railing. "Hey, do you want to be my nakama?" the teenager asked. "No, I have no reason to become a pirate," the blonde responded after exhaling. "You can cook, fight, and I like you. Why don't you join me and become my cook?" "Because I have my reasons to stay here, Straw Hat," Sanji responded, slowly getting annoyed by Luffy's offer. "If you don't want to join now, I'll ask later. See you," Luffy spoke, grinning. The Straw Hat then ran off. "I've already told you. Are you even listening to me?" Sanji exclaimed with sharp teeth. Meanwhile, Jin left the ship after finishing his meal. He thanked Sanji, of course. Back inside, the Straw Hats were getting bored, same with Johnny and Yosaku. When Luffy came back, Zoro spoke up. "Oi Luffy, when are we going to leave?" "When Sanji joins us," his captain answered. Zoro himself and his other nakama didn't like this answer. "But Luffy, what if he doesn't want to?" Nami questioned. She didn't want to spend too much time on the Bharati. "Then I'll ask him until he gives in," he said, smiling. The others knew this was a bad idea. Suddenly, many customers started leaving the Bharati. "Pirates, pirates," they screamed. Outside of the Bharati, the ship of the notorious pirate Don Krieg appeared, along with his crew. Krieg was known and hated for his dirty tricks in battle, like faking surrender and then attacking the enemies off guard. For that reason he is called Foul Play Krieg. To everyone's surprise, Krieg didn't start attacking. Instead, he walked inside the Bharati and begged for something to eat for him and his men. And it turns out that Jin is his right-hand man. Patty didn't believe Krieg. This is a 1 in a million chance to capture Don Krieg and hand him over to the Marines. Like this shouldn't be allowed to roam around freely, he said, clenching his fists. "Patty, you know me. No matter who it is, I would never let anyone starve on the sea," Zeph told him. He then turned to Krieg. "Krieg, You're getting the food you demanded, but after that you get the hell out of here. It's a promise. Krieg lied, but nobody believed him. Everyone knew he was going to break the promise and try something dirty. Yet nobody dared to oppose the tall man covered in golden armor, except Luffy. I wouldn't do that. The boy spoke to Zeph. After he gets the food, he'll attack you and try to claim the ship for his own. Clever boy, Krieg commented, smirking deviously. Yes, it's true. After I finish my meal, I'm going to claim this ship as my new flagship. When I first sailed to the Grand Line, I had 50 ships and 5,000 men under me. But due to the lack of information and that damn bastard Mihawk, I only have 100 men left. Once I take the ship, I'll also take your logbook, Red Leg, Zeph. After I obtain the ship and the logbook, I'm going to set up a new fleet, then nothing will stop me from becoming king of the pirates. You're wrong, Luffy corrected him. I, Monkey D. Luffy, will become king of the pirates, not you. Don Krieg was a cruel and brutal man. He absolutely abhors people who don't acknowledge him as the future king of the pirates. Rumors say he has killed everybody who dared to tell him that. Is that kid crazy? A voice from the crowd shouted. Who do you think you are, you brat? Don't you know that I'm the strongest man in the world? Krieg angrily yelled at Luffy. Despite the 17-year-old supposedly putting his life in great danger, his nakama fully supported him. After seeing his previous battles, his nakama believed he'd win. Others, like the customers or the cooks, didn't think he'd win, but at the very least, they respected his unbelievable courage. Strongest man my ass, that title belongs to Whitebeard, Luffy boldly stated. Don Krieg was angry, very angry. Although it may not seem like it, he's at least as intelligent. For this reason, he left Luffy alone for now and attacked the Baratie chefs instead. Men, kill everyone on board, he ordered. Jin didn't know what to say. Back when he finished the meal Sanji cooked for him, he returned to Don Krieg's ship, telling him there's a swimming restaurant. Krieg didn't hesitate and went there to claim it for himself. Due to Jin's gratitude towards Sanji, Krieg promised him not to kill anybody on board. This turned out to be a lie. But Captain, I thought you promised me not to kill anybody, and besides, they made you food, Jin exclaimed. Lying is my strategy, Jin. You're my right-hand man, you should know, Krieg ruthlessly told him. The Krieg pirates started attacking. People, furniture, plants. Everything was their target, but they made a mistake. Underestimating the fighting chefs of the Baratie. Party table kick course, Sanji shouted, knocking out over 10 pirates with one attack. Ryoricho Jisoku kick, Jeff shouted, defeating at least as many Krieg pirates. Patty and the other cooks also effortlessly defeated the enemy pirates. To top that off, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Johnny and Yosaku also jumped in to help the Baratie. Krieg was not happy to see his men getting bested one by one. He called his best men, Jin and Pearl, commanders of his 1st and 2nd division. Pearl, you know what's up, show them you're unbeatable. And you, Jin, I want you to kill that curly-eyebrow cook you wanted me to spare. BWA's cut off by his captain Don Krieg. You aren't going to betray me, are you? Prove me your loyalty and finish him, the evil captain ordered. Jin gave in. Sorry Sanji, but I had to do this, he said, not happy about the task he was given. You don't have to do anything. Luffy spoke, his words stopping Jin from running at Sanji. The man you call captain is a dishonest weakling. He makes you do bad things you don't want to. Let me prove you how weak he is by defeating him with one punch. The Straw Hat was glared at by everyone. He just signed his death warrant, some people in the crowd thought. Nobody expected such words against the East Blue's most dangerous pirate. However, the least expecting thing was Krieg's reaction. Instead of fuming from anger, the captain of the Krieg pirates just laughed at Luffy. Ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. You talk big words, kid, perhaps Pearl should teach you how to talk to your superiors, he spoke. That's right. A man wearing multiple iron shields with pearls on them said. I'm Pearl the Iron Wall. I haven't suffered a single injury in every battle I fought. If you want to mess with Don, you have to go through me first. But you can't, my armor is unbreakable. Ha 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 ha. Unbreakable? We'll see about that, Luffy called. So you're challenging me? I haven't lost a single battle in my entire life, Pearl told. Then prepare to lose for the first time. Armament, the black-haired boy exclaimed, his right arm turning black, thus gaining stares from everyone who doesn't know what hockey is. Literally everyone. Gomu Gomu no pistol. The self-proclaimed strongest man in the world watched in disbelief as his most loyal subordinate was beaten by an underage boy. Pearl's shield shattered completely due to the fist's impact. The wielder of the shield was coughing blood after a devastating hit in the gut. After that, he was sent flying in the ocean. Luffy's popularity and respect among the friendly people in the Baratie, including Jin, jumped high in the air. He had just defeated one of East Blue's strongest defensive pirates. Don Krieg realized he underestimated the harmless-looking boy with the straw hat. It seems that I underestimated you, but I won't do the same mistake again. I'm going all in, he declared. Fine by me, I'm going to win anyway, was Luffy's answer. Don't be so sure about that, brat. Dongon, he yelled, revealing 10 guns after opening parts of his armor. He started shooting 14 rounds per second, but that was too slow for Luffy, who could run at him not being hit once. Said boy did so, running at Krieg with his arms stretched back. Armament. Gomu Gomu no bullet, Luffy exclaimed, breaking Krieg's unbreakable armor. Upon impact, the tall pirate flew through his already heavily damaged ship, wrecking it, before flying in the same direction as his second commander. Yosh, I did it, indeed you did. A voice from Luffy's left said. Luffy turned to that voice and identified the person the voice belongs to, Dracule Mihawk. Not only Luffy looked at the Shichibukai, he caught everyone's attention, especially Zoro's. No doubt, that's the strongest swordsman in the world. I had to challenge him, Zoro thought. Tell me, what does a Shichibukai want in the East Blue? Luffy asked. I came here to finish what I started. Mihawk answered, surprised the young pirate he's talking to doesn't fear him. Finish what? Luffy further asked. Annihilating Krieg's fleet, but you've already done it. The Shichibukai explained. You aren't mad at me, are you? Straw Hat questioned. Actually, I'm impressed a no-name pirate in the East Blue is able to use haki, the swordsman told him. Thanks, I guess. The teen said. Since Mihawk didn't have anything more to do, he decided to return to the Grand Line. But then a green-haired swordsman stopped him from leaving. You're Dracule Mihawk, the best swordsman in the world, right? Yes, that's me, right here. Meeting you here is very fortunate for me, Shichibukai. I can't let you leave until you duel me, Zoro told him. Please, you're putting your own life in danger. I've stopped dueling with amateurs long ago, Mihawk said. I really don't want to brag, but I'm the best swordsman in the East Blue, the green-haired stated. Out of all 4 blues, the East Blue is the least powerful. However, you gave me a reason to duel you, finding out what the East Blue can offer me. The Shichibukai spoke, unleashing a small dagger. Zoro felt like he was made fun of. Oi, are you kidding me? How are you supposed to duel me with this dagger? This small blade is probably still sharper than your swords. I don't use my real sword, because I don't want to injure you too hard, Mihawk explained. Whatever, are you ready? I am. Okay. Zoro began, getting out his 3 swords. Santoryu, Onigiri. The 19-year-old attacked Mihawk with great strength, but he simply blocked it, shocking East Blue's best and his old friends. Onigiri wasn't stopped by anyone before. Mihawk was amused and bored at the same time. Is that it, the best East Blue can offer? I can see how you got your title, but that's nothing compared to Grand Line Swordsman. Kuina's former rival almost snapped, thinking it was impossible that man was this much stronger than him. But then, he remembered Luffy and that there are stronger people than him in the world. Ha, don't worry, that was my weakest attack. Santoryu. Toragari. Zoro tried again, but his opponent blocked it too. Not only that, Shanks' former rival and old friend also stabbed him with his tiny dagger, staining the Shimotsuki villagers' t-shirt red from all this blood. Zoro. The Straw Hats yelled. Zoro and Ikki, Johnny and Yosaku cried. Despite the huge wound, Zoro didn't back away a single bit. Mihawk became curious why he didn't do so. Tell me, why didn't you back away? Scars on the back of a swordsman are a disgrace. And that's the reason you're taking the hit? Listen, I'm man enough to accept defeat, but one day, I will be the one who defeats you. The Shichibukai was impressed by the man he practically defeated. His words were inspiring and he himself was a real man. What's your name? He asked. Roronoa Zoro, the green-haired answered. I will remember your name. You have impressed me enough to use my black blade. Prepare for a final clash and do your best. Santoryu Ogi, Sanzen Sakai, Zoro aggressively exclaimed, trying one more time. Unnamed attack of Mihawk asterisk. At first it looked like the best swordsman of the East Blue won, but it turns out the best swordsman of the world easily countered the green-haired's strongest attack, ripping through Zoro's chest like it was a tomato. Train and become stronger. Your attacks aren't bad but you need to perfect them. There are many swordsmen in the Grand Line who are more experienced than you. You are young and have talent, don't let them go to waste. Mihawk spoke, inspiring the future greatest swordsman. Don't worry, I will become stronger, for my captain, from now on, I'll never lose again. Zoro promised, widely smirking despite small tears in his eyes. Fine. We'll see us in the Grand Line, Roronoa Zoro, he finally said and disappeared like a flash. Nami, Usopp, go treat Zoro's wound, Luffy immediately ordered after Mihawk was gone. And where are you going, Luffy? Usopp asked. I'm going to see Sanji. Luffy answered with a wide smile on his face. On his balcony, Sanji was smoking again. What is with this kid? He's so careless, yet has amazing self-control, he thought. Moments later, Luffy walked inside his room. Hey Sanji, he asked, what is your dream? My dream? My dream is finding the All Blue. Sanji answered, looking at the clouds in the far. The All Blue? Yes, the All Blue. It's a sea where all fish from each blue live. Awesome. My dream is becoming Pirate King. Now you're not only the best fighting cook in the world, you also have a dream. Come with me, together with my nakama, we can fulfill our dreams. At Fidea, but turned down the offer not long after that. I know you want me to join you, but I can't. I need to stay here and become head chef. If you don't want to join now, I'll ask you later. Let's go down and eat something, what do you think? Luffy suggested. Fine, I'll make you my best soup. Down in the dining room for the chefs and waiters of the Bharati, Sanji presented his Luffy and his fellow employees his newly created soup. Zeph was the first to try. Phew, ew, Sanji, what abomination have you created? He spat, pulling a disgusted face. What did you say, shitty geezer? Sanji angrily roared. I said your soup sucks. This soup is just as good as yours. Bonk, *ow, that hurt. Don't you dare compare your disgusting swill with my delicious soups. Mine are Planet Lenite's better. Patty and the other cooks tried Sanji's soup too and reacted the same way as Zeph. Only Luffy liked it, but Sanji had enough. Come Luffy, let's go, he muttered, depressed by his food's dismissal by the others. After going through the door, Luffy stayed where he was. Sanji, after noticing he wasn't following him, turned around to ask him why he's not moving. Hey, why are you just standing there? Come look at this, Luffy responded. Sanji looked through the small window on the door and couldn't believe his eyes. The same people who just called his food crap were eating his food with appetite, all of them even asking for more. The blonde cook was confused and stormed inside to question everyone what's going on. Why are you eating my food if you hate it? He angrily asked. So you found out, huh? Zeph asked. What? That you secretly eat my swill? Look Sanji, the head chef began. Your food is the best we've ever eaten, it's even better than mine. The only problem is that you're stubborn as hell. Yeah, Patty added. We only did this so that you can go out and find friends. You really care about me this much? Sanji asked, touched by his family's love for him. We didn't tell you because you wouldn't leave. As I said, you're stubborn as hell, Lil Eggplant.
Shut it, shitty geezer, he started laughing, along with the rest. After getting his stuff together, Sanji left the Bharati to join Luffy and his nakama in their adventures on the sea. His farewell was tearful and emotional, but he was happy to be on Mary, mainly because of Nami. Good, 2 more things and we're going to the Grand Line, Luffy thought, referring to the removal of the Arlong pirates from Nami's home island and visiting Logia Town.